my next guest, Dean Kraft, who says he doesn't like to be labeled, doesn't charge for his services, and he says that he has a talent for making sick people feel better. Actually, sometimes in the fever of healing a patient, Dean has been known to, is it called psychokinesis?
Yes, right.
Psychokinetically move objects. Now, you really have to testify to the fact that 4 of my trusted staff members saw him actually moving a pencil that he wasn't touching between 12 and 18 inches across the floor of our office. Now, was it real? Was it magic? Who knows? The jury is still out. Now, do you understand what you do? Do you understand the phenomenon?
If I really did, then I wouldn't be going through all the scientific and medical investigation. I don't know. I'll be honest with you. I don't know what's happening. I don't understand the energy that has been measured between my fingers and the person that I'm working with. I don't understand if what I'm doing is psychologically affecting the body or biologically. I
have to say also that you have the most prestigious group of followers. I mean, seem reasonable and objective people who believe that something is happening. Kathy Young, who's over here, works, come on over here, dear, works in my office, and she has some affliction that I forget what it is. What is it, Kathy?
I've got a bad back and neck from different accidents that I've been in.
All right, now, how long have you been treated for your bad back and neck?
Since the fall of 1970.
Since the fall of 1970. All right, now, and I guess it's unsuccessful because you're still being treated, right?
Right.
Okay, now I have to vouch for her honesty. She's a really honest person. Now, what could you do for someone who has like a chronic bad back? She's being treated.
Right. Well, I just like to say there's no such thing as you put your hands on somebody and then walk away saying, oh, I'm great, throw away the crutches. I personally don't believe in that. For the people that have gotten help, and we don't know whether or not it's paranormal or normal at this point, it's taken time. It's taken months. It's taken weeks of constant working with the person. So it's so hard on just, 1 or 2 tries to try to help people. But I can't, as I say, I tell people I can't offer hope. I can't offer anything. This is research. When people come to see me, it's research. We're trying to investigate to see if there is such a thing as psychic healing. And through proper medical supervision and laboratory control conditions, one day maybe we'll find out.
Okay, can you, there's a line in an old song I remember. Can you do the voodoo that you do so well?
How's my bad?
Kathy, okay, let me set up this microphone so we can get a little bit of what you're saying. Go ahead, you can start, Dan.
Okay.
Don't be scared, Kathy. It's not as bad as the dentist. Okay.
Just like to put this down.
Okay. All right, now he's gonna try that. Now, in the meantime, we have been joined by Larry Davis, who is now completing a 4-year term as the director of psychiatric social work at the prestigious, huge Bellevue Hospital here in New York. He's a professor of social work and psychiatry also at New York University, and next month he's assuming the directorship of 400 specialists in the West Philadelphia Community Medical Health Consortium. Coincidentally, he also holds, if you don't believe this, a master's degree in theology. So while Dean is working over there, Larry, let me just ask you what you think generally about psychic healing or faith healing.
Well, I think you said the jury is still out. I think we're dealing with something that obviously there are individuals who have produced results, and as a medical profession, in terms of producing results, we can see those positive results.
You can see something.
Right. And in many of the instances, such as the Zovlak situation, you have so many negative results that you have to take those into consideration. And you have some positive results, of course, with some psychic healers. The term faith healer bothers me a little bit because it has a religious connotation, and we're dealing somewhat with something out of the context of religion, right? We're talking about psychic healers. But when you look at the results, I think you have the clue. And if the results become very negative, you have to question whether it's a kind of thing that you want to permit. And I also think that the kinds of, the people that are receiving the efforts of Dr. or Reverend Zovlak have to be looked at. And there are people in need of some kind of medical or social or psychiatric care frequently. And they're the most vulnerable because their defenses are lowered. And just like you or I, in pain, we reach out to what's going to help. And there are two questions there again. One is, are they receiving adequate medical care? In other words, is society really providing that kind of care so they don't have to seek out the individual? Then, of course, we look at the individual and say the negative, and we see the negative, rather. Then we have to question whether they are or should be allowed to continue. And then that raises the question of licensing and whether that will help produce the result of containing them.
Okay, let's talk some more about that, and we'll study the results of what Dean is doing now.
Good.
Over there. Karen over there before we go away. He's working with Kathy, who has that chronic problem, and he seems to really get into it. His hands are vibrating now. And we'll talk to her and to him and to Larry some more when Goodnight America continues in about 2 minutes. When we were away at commercial, Dean came over to me and he touched me and his hands were vibrating a mile a minute. And I swear to God, I feel looser now than I did before we went away for that commercial. Now, I'm a very, very skeptical person, but that's a very, very freaky experience. Let's go over and see what he's doing. Will I disturb you if I ask you what's going on?
No, basically what I'm doing is just touching certain areas of the body that I feel I have to touch. I apply no pressure.
I've been known to do that myself.
You're not strangled, are you? Okay.
Well, how do you feel, Kat?
More relaxed.
Now, don't just tell me that because you think I want to hear it. Tell me.
No, I honestly do. It's like, if you've ever gone out to the store and bought one of those vibrators, they're electric, and you put them on.
I knew I would have problems doing this program in New York.
No, but it's the same effect that Dean is giving me. It's like, it's a shaking of his hand, and it's like a vibrator.
And it really relaxes you.
It does, and it makes your mind almost like you're high, like you've had a couple of drinks or something like that. I think it's just relaxing your muscles, and therefore the tension is relieved.
What do you think, Doctor?
What do I think about the... I have to agree with whatever she's saying. She's experiencing the relief, and that's the product of what he's doing.
Well,
What works.
Maybe I can talk. No, I feel that in some respect, what this is in respect of form, just a form of hypnosis in a respect that a person feels that that someone's going to lay hands on them, and psychologically they feel that they're going to feel something. I feel that the true beneficial studies that I'm doing with case histories are things with X-rays and before and after. People with brain tumors that somehow have become smaller. The doctors don't have an explanation. As I say, I'm not saying that I had anything to do with it, but there was some sort of effect that was happening, and this is why we're investigating to see if it is psychological or is it biological change in the body.
well, I have to admit that I was ready to put you down because I see so much suffering and I see so many con men and women around, especially like scum like
It
Zoppa.
can be really dangerous for people. I mean, people should not go to faith healers. I'll be very honest with you. They should not. I mean, they should only go to people, and this is very funny, who are under scientific and medical investigation. They should go to their hospital staffs and ask people if, can the hospital people or their doctors recommend anybody that's doing any research into psychic healing. That's how it should be done. You shouldn't be running off to faith healers because a lot of people have been hurt. Right. People that come to me are people that have exhausted medical science totally. We get notes from them, we get notes from their doctors, we get their medical history. It's very important that nobody goes off running to faith healers. I mean, this is my particular opinion.
Well, I want to thank you for being on. Kathy, thank you for being a subject. Doctor,
thank you.
Good luck to you. Now, I was going to have a comment, but I have no comment now because I just don't know enough about this. But we'll talk about it in later editions of this program. She feels better, and for what it's worth, that she feels better. That's it. Peace, my friends. Thank you very much, and good night, America.